The desert moon was silent, with only the sound of wind moving across endless sand. Evan Carter, a human star pilot, walked out of his crashed ship. Smoke rose behind him. Sparks burst from broken wires. His oxygen meter blinked red, low. He knew he had maybe 1 hour before the suit failed. Evan looked around. No trees, no water, no life. Only the huge, empty desert. "Great," he muttered. "Of all places, I crash here." He checked his scanner. No signals, no humans, no friendly ships. Only one strange reading. A weak life signature, moving slowly toward him. Evan held his blaster tight. Out here, anything could kill him. Minutes passed. The sun was hot, the air thin. His helmet glass fogged from his own breathing. He kept walking, searching for high ground. Suddenly, he felt something. A vibration in the sand. Light footsteps. Gentle, but getting closer. Evan turned fast, pointing his weapon. That is when he saw her. A woman stood in the distance, holding a small child close to her chest. Her clothes were torn, her silver hair dusty, her skin glowing faintly under the sun. A strange blue mark shined on her forehead, a symbol he recognized from human war reports. She was Asaran, one of humanity's greatest enemies. Evan's hand tightened on the blaster. If an Asaran was here, then danger was close. The woman stumbled forward and then fell to her knees in front of him. The child cried softly, hiding his face in her arms. The woman's voice was weak, shaking. "Please, don't shoot. I need your help." Evan stepped back, confused. A princess-like alien woman begging. That never happened. "Stop right there," he said. "Tell me who you are." She slowly lifted her head. Her eyes were bright purple, full of fear and exhaustion. "My name is Lyria. Princess Lyria of the Asaran Empire." Evan's heart dropped. A princess? Out here, alone? "That's impossible," he said. "The Asaran Empire is still fighting. You shouldn't be anywhere near human space." "No," she whispered. "My empire has fallen. My people are dead. My guards, all killed." Before Evan could ask more, the princess crawled closer and placed the child at his feet. Her voice broke. "Please, take me as your concubine." Evan froze. What are you talking about?" "It is the only way," she said quickly. "If a human claims me, I gain protection under human law. If you don't, they will kill us." Her voice turned into a whisper. "They are coming. Right now." The child suddenly looked up at Evan. His eyes glowed faint gold. Not normal, not natural. Evan stepped back, shocked. What's wrong with him? The princess shook her head. "He is sick, tired, and special. That is why they hunt him." "Who is hunting you?" Evan demanded. Before she could answer, Evan's scanner beeped loudly. Multiple ships landing close. Multiple heat signatures approaching fast. Evan looked around the dry desert. No cover. No place to hide. Whoever was coming, they were close. Very close. The princess grabbed his leg, desperate. "Please, take us with you. If you leave us, we die. If you help us, we live. You are human. You can protect us." Evan felt the wind shift. Sand moved behind him. Far away, he saw dark shapes approaching. Tall, armored figures moving like hunters. He looked at his broken ship, then at the princess, then at the child with glowing eyes. He didn't trust her. She didn't trust him. But the danger was real. Evan raised his blaster and whispered, "Get up. Follow me." The princess stood, holding her child tightly. And with the enemies closing in, their dangerous journey began. The desert wind grew sharper as Evan guided the princess and her child away from the crash site. Every few seconds, he checked his tracker. The red dots, enemy signals, kept spreading like blood on a screen. Princess Lyria walked with difficulty. Her feet dragged in the sand, and the child clung to her neck, breathing in small, shaky gasps. Evan wanted to ask many questions, but survival came first. "We need shelter," he said. "Somewhere to hide. There is a canyon." "Not far," Lyria whispered. "My guards tried to take me there before they died." Evan shot her a quick look. "Your guards died? By who?" Her eyes filled with fear. "Not who, what?" Evan didn't like the sound of that. They moved faster. The sand crunched beneath their boots. The sky grew darker as two moons slowly rose, casting silver light across the desert. From behind them echoed a low humming sound. Enemy drones searching. Evan pulled Lyria behind a dune and crouched. "Stay low." A black drone passed above them, scanning the ground with red beams. The princess held her breath, hugging her. "Child, close." Evan gripped his blaster tightly, knowing it was useless against too many drones. After the drone left, they started moving again. Evan finally spoke. "Explain. Why would a princess offer herself as a concubine to a human stranger?" Lyria looked away, embarrassed and desperate. "Because only humans have strong legal protection under the Galactic Accord. If you claim me, enemies cannot kill me without starting a war against humans. And if I don't?" Evan asked. "Then they can kill me freely. And take my child." The child let out a small cough. His glowing eyes dimmed. Evan noticed strange marks on the boy's wrist, like old scars shaped in a pattern. "What's wrong with him?" Evan asked quietly. "He is weak," she said. "He used too much of his gift." "Gift?" Evan frowned. "What gift?" Lyria hesitated, as if deciding whether to trust Evan. Before she answered, her foot slipped and she almost fell. Evan caught her arm. "You're hurt," Evan said. "My body is strong," she replied softly. "My heart is tired." She looked at him then, really looked. "You don't trust me. I understand. But I swear, I am telling the truth. My empire truly fell. My people died trying to protect me, and my child is the last hope we have." Evan didn't know what to say. Humans and Asaran were enemies for decades, and now he was helping their princess? He shook his head and kept walking. A loud explosion suddenly shook the ground behind them. Evan turned instantly. Fire rose in the distance. Enemy ships had found his crashed vessel and destroyed it. His only way home. Gone. Lyria lowered her head. "I am sorry." "Because of me, your ship, save it," Evan said sharply. "Just keep moving." They reached a canyon with tall red walls. Shadows covered the bottom, offering some safety. Evan led them inside and checked the area. It was quiet. Too quiet. He turned to Lyria. "Tell me everything, right now." Lyria sat on a rock, holding her child. She took a deep breath. "My child is not fully Asaran," she said. "He is half-human." Evan froze. "What?" "Yes," she whispered. "His father was a human soldier. He died long ago. The child inherited something powerful. Something both humans and Asaran do." "Not understand." Evan stared at her, confused and shocked. She continued, voice trembling. "That is why the hunters want him. He can activate things. Ancient machines, weapons, secrets buried for thousands of years. They want to use him." The child suddenly grabbed Evan's wrist. His small hand felt warm, too warm, and a tiny spark of golden light flickered. Between them. Evan pulled back, startled. Lyria stood up. "Now you know why I begged you. If they take him, galaxies will burn. You are human. You can protect us." Before Evan could respond, their canyon echoed with mechanical footsteps. The hunters had arrived, and they were very close. The canyon walls offered some shelter, but only for a moment. The red glow of enemy drones reflected off the jagged rocks, moving closer with every passing second. Evan crouched behind a boulder, keeping an eye on the narrow canyon exit. Lyria held her child tightly, whispering something he could not understand, and brushing a strand of silver hair from her face. "We can't stay here long," Evan muttered. "They'll find us if we rest." "I know," Lyria said, her voice low. "We have to reach the old ruins. They are safe for now." Evan nodded, even though he didn't fully trust the promise of safety. He glanced at the child. The boy was pale, and his small hands clutched Lyria's chest like tiny claws. Every few seconds, the child's eyes flickered gold, a strange, eerie light. Evan felt a shiver run down his spine. That glow wasn't normal. Something in him was dangerous. "Keep him close," Evan said. "And don't let him make noise." Lyria nodded. She turned to Evan. "I need to tell you something before we move." Evan raised an eyebrow. "Go ahead, make it quick." "The child, he is not just half human," she whispered. "He can awaken ancient technology. Machines built thousands of years ago, before the first human colonies. He can control them. If the hunters capture him, they can destroy whole planets." Evan's mouth went dry. "What kind of machines?" "I don't know all of them," Lyria admitted. "But I know one thing. He is the key." They moved silently, Evan leading them through the canyon exit. The sand stretched endlessly ahead like a golden sea. The sun hung low on the horizon, casting long shadows that twisted like monsters across the dunes. Every step was dangerous. Every shadow could hide death. Suddenly, a low whirring filled the air. Evan froze. In the distance, the sand began to shift unnaturally. Dark shapes rose, mechanical hunters, faster than any human could run. Drones? No, these were bigger, with arms tipped and sharp blades. "Run!" Evan shouted. They sprinted across the desert. Lyria stumbled several times, but Evan helped her up. The child cried softly, clutching her tightly. The machines followed, moving like predators that never tired. Every time they slowed for a moment, the machines gained ground. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time was meaningless in the vast, empty desert. Evan's suit beeped low. Oxygen was running out. Lyria's strength seemed endless, but she had a human fragility about her that made him worried. Finally, in the distance, Evan saw what looked like ancient ruins half buried in sand. Stone pillars and strange metal structures jutted into the sky. "There," he said, pointing. "We can hide there." The child whimpered. Lyria whispered to him, and his glowing eyes flickered once, then brighter. Evan felt something brush his mind, not human, not fully. The boy's power was waking. They reached the ruins and ducked behind a half-collapsed wall. For a moment, silence. The wind blew the sand in waves, covering their tracks. Lyria looked at Evan, her face pale but determined. "We can rest here, but only for a short time. They will not stop until they have him." Evan crouched, panting. "I don't like this," he muttered. "Something about this place. It's alive, I can feel it." The child stirred, and a faint golden light pulsed from him, casting strange shadows across the ruins. Evan felt the hairs on his arms rise. "What did you do?" He asked Lyria. "He didn't mean to," she said. "He is learning, controlling his power. The ruins, they respond to him." Evan's eyes widened. "If he can control these things, we might have a chance. But if he can't, we're dead." From the desert beyond the ruins, a loud metallic roar echoed. The hunters had found them again. Evan drew his blaster. Lyria held the child tightly. Sand swirled in the wind, and the ruins seemed to hum. Something ancient was awakening. And their dangerous journey through the wasteland was only beginning. The ruins were quiet, but the air hummed with something old. Something alive. Evan crouched behind a broken stone pillar, watching the child. The boy's golden eyes glowed softly, illuminating the carved symbols on the ancient walls. He muttered something under his breath, small syllables that sounded like a forgotten language. The ruins responded. Stones shifted slightly, metal panels creaked, and a faint energy pulse ran along the ground. Evan felt it in his chest, a vibration, like the ruins themselves were breathing. He had fought countless battles, but this was something different, dangerous, unpredictable. "Evan," Lyria whispered. "I think it is time I tell you everything." Evan turned to her. She was pale, exhausted, but her eyes held fire. "Now?" he asked, keeping his voice low. "We need to focus on surviving first." "No," she said firmly. "You need to understand who he is, or we won't survive at all." Evan knelt beside her. The child looked up at him, small hands glowing faintly. Evan swallowed hard. "What is he really?" Lyria took a deep breath. "His father was human. A soldier who died before I could protect him. I loved him. But our love was forbidden. The child inherited not just my blood, but his father's. And that combination makes him unique, powerful." Evan frowned. "Powerful how?" "The child," Lyria said, "can activate ancient technology built long before humans and Asaran existed. Weapons, machines, systems that were lost for thousands of years. He can control them without understanding them fully. That is why the hunters want him. They want to use him as a weapon to conquer worlds." Evan's head spun. "So, you brought me here. Why? To protect him?" "Yes," she whispered. "You are human. You can protect him. The hunters cannot attack a human with impunity. If you claim me, we gain legal protection. If not, we die. Both of us." The child's glow grew stronger. Small rocks around him floated slightly, pulled by invisible force. Evan's jaw tightened. He had seen power before, but this was different. Uncontrolled, dangerous. Lyria's voice shook. "He doesn't know how to control it yet. I've been hiding him, teaching him quietly. But each time he uses it, he grows weaker. He tires. If they catch him before he learns, he will be destroyed. And so will the chance to stop the hunters." Evan looked at the child again. The golden light in his eyes flickered, almost like a warning. The boy reached out, touching the carved panel in the wall. The stone trembled. A hidden doorway slid open, slowly revealing a dark passage. Evan's heart pounded. What did he just do?" Lyria's eyes widened. "He activated the ruins. He is connected to them. But he doesn't fully understand it. If he learns, he could control these ruins, and every ancient system like them." Evan glanced around. "Every system? Every weapon?" "Yes," Lyria said. "And if the hunters get him first, they could use that power to destroy galaxies. This child, he is the key to everything." A sudden vibration shook the ground. Sand and dust fell from the ruins. The hunters were close. Evan pulled Lyria and the boy back into a shadowed corner. The child shivered, and his glow dimmed, like he had used too much energy. Evan whispered, "We need a plan now. We can't run forever. These ruins, they might help us, but they could also trap us." Lyria nodded. Her voice was calm but serious. "He can control the ruins, if he is ready. But he isn't ready yet. I need time to teach him, and we don't have much." Evan looked at the glowing boy, at the ancient walls, at Lyria, and realized something terrifying. This wasn't just a fight for survival. This was a fight for the future of countless worlds. And they were running out of time. From the desert outside, the sound of metal feet striking the sand grew louder. The hunters were near. The child's golden eyes brightened once more, as if sensing the approaching danger. Evan gripped his blaster. Lyria held the boy tightly. The ruins seemed to pulse with power. Waiting, watching. And in that moment, Evan knew their next move could either save them all or destroy everything. The desert sun dipped below the horizon, leaving a cold, dark night. Shadows stretched across the ruins, turning every pillar and broken wall into a potential hiding place. Or a trap. Evan crouched behind a collapsed arch, his blaster ready. Lyria held her child close, whispering words that sounded like a soft song in an alien language. The boy's eyes glowed faint gold, pulsing with the energy he barely controlled. From the desert beyond, a low mechanical hum grew louder. The hunters had arrived. Tall armored figures moved with precision across the sand, their weapons glinting under the moonlight. They spread out, scanning, searching, calculating. Evan hissed, "They're close. We don't have much time." Lyria's hand tightened on the boy. "We can't run anymore. We must fight here, or die trying." Evan nodded, his jaw tight. "Then let's do it. Stick close. Don't let him." He glanced at the boy, who had begun whispering again, the strange alien syllables echoing in the ruins. Stones vibrated slightly around him. Evan's heart skipped a beat. Hunters breached the first outer walls. Their weapons fired, and sparks erupted as energy bolts struck the stone pillars. Evan jumped up, firing his blaster, taking down the first wave. Lyria stood beside him, extending her hands. A faint blue light spread from her palms. Bolts of energy shot forward, knocking several hunters off their feet. The child stepped forward. His small voice rang out, high and trembling, yet commanding. Golden light burst from him in a wave, hitting the remaining enemies. The ground shook. Some hunters staggered, their armor cracking under the mysterious force. Evan stumbled back, shielding himself from the glowing energy. "This is unreal," he muttered. Lyria looked worried. "He can't control it fully. He's using too much." The child's glow intensified. Dust and stones lifted into the air, swirling around him like a miniature storm. Hunters screamed, their weapons useless against the energy pulse. But Evan saw the truth. The boy's power was draining him fast. His tiny body trembled, and his eyes flickered weakly. Evan shouted, "He can't hold it much longer. Lyria, help him stabilize it." The princess knelt beside her son, chanting softly, her energy wrapping around him like a shield. Slowly, the golden glow steadied. One by one, the remaining hunters fell, retreating in fear of the strange power. But the battle was far from over. The ruins themselves responded. Ancient machinery embedded in the stone activated, hidden panels opened. Strange metal arms extending like guardians of old. Evan's mouth went dry. What the hell? The child raised a small hand, pointing at the machines. They paused, then slowly obeyed his will, forming barriers and blocking the hunter's path. It was beautiful. And terrifying, Lyria whispered. "He is learning faster than I expected." Evan glanced around. The ruins were alive now. Energy pulsed through every wall, every column. The hunters had regrouped, but the ruins themselves fought back. Ancient defense mechanisms activated, sweeping beams of energy cutting paths through the sand, forcing the enemies into traps. The boy collapsed into Lyria's arms, exhausted. His glow dimmed, leaving him pale and trembling. Evan ran over, checking. He's alive." "Barely." Lyria looked at Evan with a mixture of fear and hope. "He used too much, but we survived. The ruins protected us. Because of him." Evan wiped sweat from his brow, looking at the dark desert beyond the walls. "This is only the beginning," he said. "They'll come back, stronger. And next time, it won't just be drones or foot soldiers. They'll bring everything. They have." The child stirred, mumbling something in his alien tongue. Golden sparks flickered from his fingertips. Evan swallowed hard. He realized something terrifying. The boy's power could save them, or destroy everything. Lyria tightened her hold on him. "We have to teach him control, fast. Or we'll lose him, and the galaxy too." Evan looked around the ruins, seeing the ancient machinery glowing faintly. They had survived this battle, but the real war, the one that could decide life or death for countless worlds, had just begun. The ruins were quiet now, but the air was thick with tension. Evan sat on a broken stone slab, cleaning sand off his blaster. Lyria knelt beside her child, whispering softly in the alien tongue. The golden glow in the boy's eyes had dimmed, leaving him pale and exhausted. For a moment, Evan allowed himself to breathe. They had survived the battle, but survival did not mean safety. Evan's mind raced. Lyria, you need to tell me everything. I need to know what we're really fighting against, he said, his voice steady but tense. Lyria looked up, her violet eyes full of sorrow. There's more, Evan. Something I have kept hidden. A secret even my own people did not fully know. Evan's heart skipped. What kind of secret? She hesitated. The boy stirred in her arms, his small hands glowing faintly again. She took a deep breath. I am not just a princess. I am the key to the weapons of the ancient Asuran Empire. The same machines my child can control. They were created to destroy entire star systems. My council betrayed me. They wanted the power for themselves. They caused the fall of my empire. Evan felt the weight of her words. You were betrayed? Yes, she whispered. I trusted my council, my closest advisors. But they wanted the ancient weapons for themselves. They attacked my empire, killed my people, and tried to take me. Only the child and I survived, hidden from everyone. My child inherited not just my blood, but the potential to control all the ancient machines. He is their target because they want to use him to finish what they started. Evan ran a hand through his hair. So, they're not just hunting your empire, they're hunting your child. To control these weapons? Yes, Lyria said, her voice trembling. If they capture him, they could awaken weapons strong. Enough to destroy human worlds, entire planets. And that is why I begged you to protect us. The boy looked up, his eyes flickering gold again, and whispered a soft word. The ruins responded. A low hum spread through the stones, almost like a heartbeat. Evan felt a chill run down his spine. They're already here, Lyria continued. The council has sent elite hunters. They know we are in these ruins. They want the boy, and me. If they find us, if they take him, nothing can stop them. Evan swallowed hard. So, everything we've been doing, running, hiding, fighting, it's all leading to this? Yes, she said. This is not just survival, Evan. This is the future of countless worlds. If we fail, the galaxy could fall into war. If we succeed, we can stop them. The ground trembled beneath their feet. A distant rumble echoed through the ruins. Evan looked toward the canyon entrance and saw shadows moving, tall, armored forms, approaching faster than before. Evan's entrance. Jaw tightened. They found us again, and this time, it's not just soldiers or drones. They're bringing everything. Lyria stood, holding her child tightly. We have no choice. You must protect us, Evan. The boy must learn control. But there's no time for slow lessons. You, me, we must fight. Together. Evan looked at her, then at the child, then at the approaching hunters. I've been through many battles, he said. But this is different. We're not just fighting for our lives. We're fighting for the galaxy. The child stirred in Lyria's arms, glowing brighter. Evan noticed the symbols on the ruins lighting up in response, casting eerie shadows across the broken walls. Machines, long dormant, hummed and whirred. It was as if the ruins themselves were awakening, sensing the child's presence. Lyria's voice was firm. Remember this, Evan. You protect us, and we can fight. But if we fail, all hope is lost. Evan gripped his blaster. The golden light from the child reflected in his eyes. He knew the next battle would be the hardest they had ever faced. The hunters were coming. The council's plan was clear. And the boy's secret, powerful, dangerous, uncontrollable, was the key. The ruins pulsed like a living heart, and in that moment, Evan realized the truth. They were no longer running for survival. They were standing on the edge of destiny. The first sounds of the council's elite forces echoed through the desert. The final battle was about to begin. The desert night was alive with tension. Evan crouched behind a stone pillar, breathing hard. His blaster was empty, and his suit's power meter was blinking red. Lyria stood beside him, holding her child close. The boy's golden eyes glowed faintly, flickering like tiny stars, drained from the previous battle, but still radiating raw power. From the canyon entrance, the council's elite hunters appeared. Their armor was black, sleek, and designed for killing. Energy blades hummed in their hands. Machines and drones followed, forming a deadly wave across the sand. Evan swallowed hard. "This is it," he muttered. "No running this time. We fight. Here, or we die." Lyria nodded. "We must. There's nowhere else to go." The child stirred in her arms. His glow brightened slightly. Evan noticed the ruins around them starting to hum, responding to the boy's presence. Panels slid open, revealing ancient weapons and mechanisms long dormant. The ruins seemed alive, as if waking to defend their rightful heir. The hunters advanced. Evan raised his blaster and fired. Sparks erupted as energy bolts struck the enemy. Shields. Lyria extended her hands, releasing blue energy beams that knocked two hunters off their feet. The boy's small hand glowed, and golden arcs of power leapt from him, activating the ancient ruins. Stone pillars shifted, forming barriers. Between them and the attackers, the first wave of hunters fell back, but more came, faster and stronger. Evan ducked behind the pillar as a mechanical arm swung toward him. He fired, destroying it, but knew this was only the beginning. "Keep him safe," Lyria shouted, dodging another attack. "If they get him," her voice broke, "we're finished." The boy stepped forward, exhausted but determined. With a trembling hand, he activated a massive energy shield, glowing gold. The hunter slammed against it, unable to break through. Sparks flew, metal cracked, and the air vibrated with power. The boy's body shook with effort, and Evan could see him struggling to maintain the shield. Evan ran to him. "You can do it, kid. Just hold on a little longer." Lyria whispered softly, guiding the child's energy. Slowly, the golden glow stabilized. The hunters, realizing brute force would not work, tried to retreat. But Evan and Lyria were not done. They pressed forward, using the ruins' machinery as weapons. Ancient blasters fired from hidden panels, cutting off escape routes. The hunters were trapped. The child collapsed into Lyria's arms, trembling and exhausted. Evan ran to them. "Is he okay?" "He's alive," Lyria said, brushing sand from his hair, "but he used too much power. He needs time to recover." Evan looked around the ruins. The remaining hunters had been defeated or forced to retreat. The desert was silent, except for the hum of the ancient machines. For the first time, Evan allowed himself to breathe. They had won, for now. Lyria looked at Evan with gratitude. "You did it. You protected us. You claimed me." Evan raised an eyebrow. "Claimed you?" "Under human law," she explained. "It gives us protection. They cannot attack me or my child without consequences. You became our shield." Evan nodded slowly. "I didn't do it for the law. I did it to survive. And to save all of you." The child stirred, blinking his golden eyes slowly. "I saw a machine," he whispered. "A huge one, calling me." Evan's heart tightened. "Then our work isn't done." The ruins pulsed faintly, as if agreeing. The desert stretched endlessly before them, quiet for now but full of danger. Evan, Lyria, and the child stood. Together, battered but alive. They had survived the Council's attack, controlled the power of the ruins, and defeated the hunters. But the boy's vision was a warning. The galaxy held far greater threats. Ancient weapons, lost for centuries, were waiting. And the child was the key. Evan gripped his blaster, looking at the horizon. "We fight again," he said. "And next time, we decide the fate of the galaxy." Lyria held her child tightly. The golden glow pulsed softly, a symbol of hope and power. Together, they stepped forward, ready for the battles to come. The night was quiet, but a new adventure had begun. The galaxy would never be the same.